Hey, what's happening, guys? Cold Black Ops Kid here, coming at you with a new video. Finally, budget GPUs. About fucking time. The last budget GPU we really had was budget GPU we had was the RX 5500. It was a 4 gig and an 8 gig model. I think the 8 gig was like 200, 250. And now we finally have another competitor for the budget prices. We're gonna first talk about AMD's solution, which kind of the more I researched it, the worse it got. And honestly, I'm not really sure how I feel about this. Although this is probably going to be a GPU that is probably going to be easily available to get if the MSRP actually stays where it's supposed to be. So the AMD RX 6500 XT is the highest boost clock that they have on RDNA 2. It's got about 110 watt TDP, like the maximum boost, 16 gigabytes of infinity cache. The problem is, and it's $199, fucking 200, sub 200 GPU. Obviously, with street prices, who knows what this will be? Maybe probably $300, $325, $350. Who knows? Whatever the hell that is. It's only got 4 gigs of GDDR6. That's the biggest problem I have with this RX 6500. 4 gigs is not a lot. It's very subpar, very low 1080p gaming. I had problems running certain games on my RX 6600 XT, let alone the 6600, which I tested both of them, and they're decent at 1080p, maybe 75 to 90 FPS on max settings at 1080p. But if the 6500 XT with 4 gigabytes of GDDR6, probably not going to be good for 1080p. Very low, maybe barely reaching 60 FPS on 1080p, honestly. And I'm glad to see that we at least have something. Something at maybe $300 for GPUs, which they did say it's $199 coming on the 19th. I'm going to try and get my hands on one for you guys, but we'll have to see. I want to make a VR rig, and if I can get a VR rig in a GPU for $199, that's not bad, honestly. As long as the MSRP stays true to what it is. If it's anything like it has been with the RX 6600 was $329. I think I bought mine at Micro Center. I think I bought my 6600 at Micro Center for about $400. So about $80 inflated. So if we go off those, probably the 6500, yeah, about $280 or $300, which is probably my prediction, which you'll find. But the problem is that whenever a new GPU launch starts, everything is sold out. I don't believe the 6500 is going to be like this, the 6500 XT. Although if there was an 8 gig model, miners would be all over it. Maybe that's the reason why they're not doing the 6500 XT at 8 gigabytes is to dilute scalping. I feel like 6 gigs would be fine, but then of course mining, of course. I don't know. AMD kind of missing the ball on this one. At least 6 gigs would have been fine if you're actually trying to tend to gamers. 4 gigs I just feel like is not enough personally. Although it probably will produce at least 60 FPS at 1080p. It's just, I don't know. It's not going to be good. Although, the AMD RX 6500 XT is coming out January 19th. So that's cool. Yeah, NVIDIA released their own GPU for budget. I'm guessing they're getting ready for Intel to come into the market and to try and battle potential sales, I guess, from their new GPU. And the RTX 3050 is an actual thing. I know it's been rumored for a long time. And they're segmenting this at $249 with 8 gigabytes of VRAM and 73 tensor cores. It doesn't say a boost clock or anything like that. Doing 60 FPS at 1080p for control and other things like that, which is actually, if it's at max setting, it's pretty good bang for your buck. As long as you can get it for $249, which I don't believe. It's probably street price will be more like $450, $500, or and at the lowest probably $400. So the 3070 Ti, the Founders Edition, was about $600. I bought mine for about, I would say, I think I bought it for like $850, $850, I think, for my 3070 Ti. So that's a decent markup. If that's the case, I mean, obviously the 3070 Ti was never really there. There wasn't anything real. $600 for MSRP for the 3070 Founders Edition, 3070 Ti Founders Edition, which obviously with AIB is saying right now it's just hard to get their hands on 30, NVIDIA GPUs without being scalped, I guess. So yeah, I would imagine this being 400 at the lowest end possible. And obviously, and I was kind of upset with AMD's budget. The 3050 seems like it could be a pretty compelling case. The problem is miners. If there's not a low hash rate, even though the low hash rate has been cracked for most of the cards, I still feel like miners are going to want to get this, even though they are LHR, which the 3060, 3060 Ti, 3070s, 3070 Ti's, everything is being scalped at the current time and or not available anywhere. I do see a little bit more readily available cards now, but 3050 Ti being at, if it is about $249, if you could find it anywhere, which I doubt. If you can find it for $300, this is going to be the best. The 3050 will definitely be the best budget GPU by far. The 6500, if you can actually find it at $200, could be pretty compelling, but obviously the 6500 XT is going to be basically worthless comparatively to the 3050 in my personal opinion. Considering the more VRAM will help with the card mainly would be my opinion. Although the 3050, they didn't really say anything about tensor cores, game clocks, boost clocks. They just kind of showed, you could do 60 FPS in Control. So yeah, Control comparatively to 1660 Ti is what is comparatively. So they're basically replacing their 1660, which it's all right, it's whatever. It's basically a ray tracing 1660 Ti with DLSS and ray tracing. That's pretty much what the 3050 is. Which the 6500 obviously can have fidelity, super resolution, which they're actually something that I could talk about really quickly before I end the video here. Is that AMD is actually coming out with super resolution on the fly. You don't have to have a game with drivers for it to work. It just needs to simply, you set your game resolution to whatever, say if you want to play in 720p, the software automatically will upscale it for you to 1080p. I'm not really sure how exactly this works because it didn't really show off a lot of gameplay really for it. Far Cry basically went from like 30 FPS to like 60 using this method. And it's supposed to come in Q1, so it's perfect for the 6500 XT. But the problem is it's whenever it's ready, and if the price is right, and then the 3050 is the same thing. If the price is even possible, and of course the 3050 comes out January 27th, so about a week after the 6500 XT. So if I can get my hands on either one, personally, I would like to try the 3050, but I'll probably go down to Micro Center and see how much the 6500 XT is actually going for. I will definitely make a video on that, do the review, all that stuff. I still have to put up my review for the 6600 and 6600 XT. It's probably lost in the format, but they're both decent cards. The 6600 XT is definitely the more bang for my buck personally, because I bought the 6600 XT for lower than the 6600, which is pretty ridiculous. Anyways, yeah, that's gonna do it for me. A video that I haven't done in a very long time. And I'm going to be doing more videos. If you want more of me, check out the other channel where I do more gameplay. I have a lot of reviews. I have a lot of work to do on that channel. I've been dormant for like 3 weeks. I'm very excited to keep you guys informed on GPUs. Stick to this channel for the reviews for those GPUs. I'm going to try and leave the computer stuff on this channel. To try and alleviate a lot of different complexity and stuff like that. So let me guys know what you think about the 3050 and the RX 6500 XT and whatever Intel decides to do if they ever decide to actually release their damn GPUs, because they don't really say a lot and when they're coming out. So what some of the sources are saying is that Intel Arc is going to release in March, long after these budget GPUs are here. So sometimes most of the people probably won't even buy Intel with these budget GPUs. So thanks guys so much for watching. I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.